Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys of Magic. This is Hunter, David, Shane, and Steven. Say what up, boys.
Yo, mellow.
What's up, nerds?
Welcome to day 1 of spoiler season, officially, of March of the Machine. Not to be confused with March of the Machines with an S. Everyone keeps saying machines. It's machine. I don't care. But
You clearly care, dude.
You
let's go ahead
definitely
and
care.
jump into these spoilers right away with the first two cards that were spoiled a couple days ago that we didn't actually talk about because they were part of the story. This first one, Archangel Elspeth. Archangel Elspeth costs 2 and 2 white for a legendary planeswalker. It is a starting loyalty of 4. It has a +1 that says create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink, a -2 that says put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It becomes an angel in addition to its other types and gains flying, and a -6 that says return all non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Seems a little underwhelming to me.
It's not the best, Elspeth.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do like the Gideon treatment here and have an ability where it was like until end of turn, like she becomes a 4/4 angel type thing.
That'd be sick.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm disappointed by this card as a whole, though.
If
Yeah.
only it was a +1 and gave you 2 creatures, dude.
That would have been cool, but I don't know if they're doing that powerful stuff.
I know,
anymore.
I know.
But it gives a 1/1 that can minus to give it a 3/3 angel with flying and lifelink. So I guess kind of want to do that. What do you think, Steven?
Garbage.
Garbage.
Man of many words, dude.
Man of many words. Yeah, Archangel Elspeth just not doing it for me. Can we talk about real quick the symbol for the set?
Bomb?
Does it look like that's a mythic to you or a rare?
Yeah, dude, I noticed that earlier on. The rares in this set are so hard to spot.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you look down at the bottom.
Okay,
I know it says M. I get that. But the coloring here, that looks like a gold rather than kind of orange.
I mean, you could tell. It's just maybe not at first glance, but you could definitely tell when you flip between a rare and a mythic.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like I am with Hunter on this
from the
one. I
bottom.
was looking. Oh, sorry, Steven.
No, I usually just tell from the bottom.
Well, you're not. You're cool, dude.
I do agree with Hunter. I was looking at some of the rares earlier, and like I had to double check and actually look down to the rarity at the bottom to like confirm. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just thought it was an interesting little thing. But moving on to the other planeswalker that was spoiled, Wrenn and Realmbreaker. Wrenn and Realmbreaker is 1 and 2 green for a starting loyalty of 4. It has a static ability that says lands you control have tap at 1 mana of any color. It has a +1 ability that says up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance, hexproof, and haste until your next turn. It's still a land. A -2 that says mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. And a -7 that says you get an emblem with you may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. That is so much better.
Yeah, say this seems like a good card. It's got
I'm
land
actually-
fixing, dude.
I'm actually not high on this card either.
Why? I think it's good for a 3 mana.
I mean, yeah, it's cheap. It's easier to get into play and like coming down. And I'm assuming you're probably going to immediately plus this. So 5 loyalty on turn 3 like is nice.
Yeah.
The passive I don't feel like is going to do much of anything for me, and then its abilities are just kind of meh across the board.
You're saying that because you're probably playing this in a mono green?
No,
Because the
even
three
if
green pips.
so, like even if you're playing with more colors, like I look at this as like, okay, cool, this is another copy of Chromatic Lantern. In the case that you're playing like EDH, I'm somebody who really only plays that in like a 5-color deck, and I don't think that this card really does a whole lot even there.
Well, it's like chromatic with upside, though, right? Because you get the creature. It protects itself. That's important.
It doesn't protect itself though. It doesn't
Why?
untap the land that you target, so you have to have a 4th land.
Okay, so just plays on turn 4. Protects itself.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this card either.
I know.
Steven?
I don't want to talk about it, man, because every time I love a card, like all you guys all hate it.
I think it's a good card, dude. Only
I
David
like
hates
this
it.
card.
Talk about
I
it.
like this card.
This card is absolutely bonkers in my mind, dude.
'Cause it says
It
the
is a
word mill.
chromatic lantern. Sure. I mean, I love like mill with green is nice, I guess. But I mean, dude, at the end of the day, this is a 3 mana, 4 starting loyalty chromatic lantern that gives you a dude. And let us not forget that when we play in green, we have mana dorks, so we can essentially get this out, if not earlier on turn 2, on turn 3 with a reliable defender. I mean, at the end of the day, like it's not too overly like devastating to where opponents might swing at it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was looking at this from a perspective of imagine this comes down with a doubler on the field, say like Vorinclex on the field. This comes down with 8 loyalty immediately.
Oh,
Do that
Jesus.
-7 and it starts and it survives, and you could just get an emblem for the rest of the game that says you may play lands and cast permanents from your graveyard.
Bro,
If
That's
you
pretty
if
nuts.
just
you-
say it, David. Say it, David. Yeah.
if you've got Vorinclex in play, you're winning the game anyways. You don't
Yeah.
need this card.
Say Vortex in any Planeswalker is just a GG scenario on her.
I mean,
I
Vorinclex is
understand that.
dead. Spoiler alert.
I mean, so is Wrenn.
Yo, hey,
Every
one more point
single
here, dude.
Praetor is dead.
One more point, dude. You keep bringing up Chromatic Lantern. It's the same cost. Just play this instead of Chromatic, dude.
Play both.
I think you play both.
Okay, now we're playing both. Let's go.
Because chromatic also taps for, whatever you want.
Moving on to the mother of machines, except she dropped the name. It's just Elesh Norn. 2 and 2 white for a 3/5 legendary creature, a Phyrexian Praetor. Got Vigilance, and it says whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you or a permanent you control, that source's controller loses 2 life unless they pay 1. Also has another ability where you can pay 2 and a white and sacrifice 3 other creatures, exile Elesh Norn, and return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery. It comes transformed as the Argent Etchings. It is an enchantment saga. It has the first lore that says incubate 2 5 times, then transform all incubator tokens you control. The second lore counter, it says creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain double strike until end of turn. And the third one is destroy all other permanents except for artifacts, lands, and Phyrexians. Exile the Argent Etchings, then return it to the battlefield.
Tell me why this card's not good, because I think this card's nuts.
First half, the front half isn't great.
It's not the greatest, I would agree.
Yeah, but the back half, I agree with you there.
The back half was like when we first saw it, I was like, there's no way. There's just no way.
You have to get there though.
I know. Okay. That's probably the bad part of it then.
I actually really like the front half of this card, just for
Do
like
you?
flavor purposes. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
same here.
Norn's Annex on Elesh Norn.
That's true.
Can I just say I'm a little sad that they didn't do like pay 2 and a Phyrexian white?
I could
No,
see that,
I'm happy.
but maybe because 2 would be too cheap. I don't know. But I do see for flavor wise why you would like that, Steven. But dude, incubate 2 5 times, and then giving all of them on 1 double strike, and then killing everything but those, and then you get Elesh Norn back. Like, that is insane.
That is true, and we will talk about what incubate means. What that means is create an incubator token with 2 +1/+1 counter on it, and it also has pay 2 transform this artifact, and it transforms into a 0/0 Phyrexian artifact creature. So it's making a bunch of little tokens that can eventually become. Actually, they just become
Yeah, they
immediately
become
transformed.
Yeah,
She transforms
which is
them on the
crazy.
same kick.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you immediately have 5 2/2s.
Yep.
And the next turn, you have 5 3/3s with double strike.
Yeah. And then the next turn, they stay alive. Everything else dies.
It's true. And then you can
Really good
sacrifice them
card.
to do it again.
Really good card, dude.
I also love the fact that this saga doesn't just like sacrifice itself; it transforms back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
like was that Edgar? What was the vampire that did the same thing? Where it did
Edgar
like a
Charm
It was
Broom.
Edgar.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Edgar.
Getting the same vibes here, and that was a pretty decent card in standard. We thought it wasn't going to be good, but these are harder to get like rid of than we thought.
I think Edgar still might be a little better because it was when it died.
That's true.
Moving on to creatures that were Phyrexianized that are popular in Magic. First one is Etali, Primal Conqueror. Etali Primal Conqueror is 5 and 2 red for a 7/7 legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur. It has Trample. It says when Etali Primal Conqueror enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. Also has another ability we can pay 9 and a green Phyrexian. Transform Etali. Activate only as a sorcery. When it's transformed, it turns into Etali Primal Sickness. It is a legendary creature Phyrexian Elder Dinosaur that is an 11/11 with Trample and Indestructible. And when it deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters.
Just
Pretty
so
neat.
much mana, dude.
Pretty nuts.
I have a huge complaint about this card.
Let's
What's
hear
your
it.
complaint?
All right, here you go. So Etali Primal Sickness very clearly has like sights for hands. And like the whole Phyrexian thing is like you're supposed to be improving. And I've noticed that they do swords for hands a lot, like they did with Nahiri. Nisa got like a staff for an arm. I think opposable thumbs are pretty important, man. They're getting rid of their hands.
Yeah. I
What
can
a
understand it.
genius! What a genius!
Like, I don't know. I guess you get rid of your fingers and you get indestructible.
Hey, but the card.
Oh, that
You
was
mean
pretty
this
much
super amazing card, dude?
Yeah, this
Um,
card.
Dude, it's just Blightsteel Dinosaur.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was gonna say. But it's so much mana.
Okay, dude, I hate when you fucking say shit like this.
Steven, it's add your 7 plus 9.
if I may, I'm probably going to speak to help Steven out here a little bit. In standard, this is probably not going to do anything. In older formats, if you want to cheat something in a play, this is a huge thing to cheat in. Its front half still is going to give you card advantage because you're going to be able to flip over exile cards from the player's libraries. Like you're doing this for yourself, you're doing it for your opponent. So whenever you're getting this into play, you're getting 3 things. You're not just getting Etali. If you're playing in Commander, you're getting 4 things plus Etali, and then in the case that this thing ever flips, it's a pain in the ass to deal with. Plus, I think its front half is more than powerful enough on its own. Like the back half is just icing on the cake. I'm actually pretty high on this card.
Yeah, I get that you can cheat it in, but I was thinking about this. Unfortunately, there's no way to cheat in the other side, though.
Who the
That's what I-
fuck cares, man? Dude, if you have
Go play Etali then.
Yo,
all
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying,
cheat it
dude,
in with
is that
Isha.
it's 7 mana, okay, regardless, right?
Uh-huh.
So you have the 7 mana. Then you really only need 2 more. And
On a
let's be
different turn,
honest,
maybe.
you don't even have to cast this. It just has the ETB for you to get the front half trigger, dude.
Hey, I didn't say the card was bad. This card's nuts. Just a lot of mana.
Good. Then let's move on. This card's great. Everyone's in agreement. Thank you. Next card.
Make your ice
Steven
cream
is
be
true.
happy. Jesus Christ. I've never seen someone so angry with ice cream.
Yeah, I do have ice cream. I don't know why I'm upset. It's cookie dough.
Moving on. Next up, we have Palukranos Reborn. Palukranos Reborn is 3 green mana for a 4/5 legendary creature Hydra. It has reach. Has another ability to pay 6 and a white Phyrexian mana. Transform. Palukranos Reborn. Activate only as a sorcery. It transforms into Palukranos Engine of Ruin. It is a 6/6 legendary creature, Phyrexian Hydra with reach and lifelink. It also says whenever it or another non-token Hydra you control dies, you create a 3/3 green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with reach and a 3/3 green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with lifelink.
All right,
This is
I'm
gonna be
gonna
nuts and
pretend. I'm gonna
standard,
be
dude.
pretend to be Shane. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my god, so much fucking mana.
No. All right. Are you confused here? This is the exact opposite of that.
It's
This
the
card's-
same cost to flip this as Etali is to get in play.
What? Do you want to rethink that, or
No, they're both. This one costs 7 to flip. Etali costs 7 to put into play.
this one costs 6 to flip?
7.
I'm gonna play 2 life. What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, true.
Also, 3 green pips in standard. That's easy. This is gonna see standard play 1000%.
I agree.
Yeah, it's fucking 3 mana for a 4/5 with reach.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
they like to power creep green for some reason.
David, don't fake out the
No,
crowd.
yeah, there's no way you can talk bad
There's
about
no
this
faking
card.
out the crowd, dude.
No, dude, I am, dude. This is 3 green and it's only a 4/5 with reach. I was expecting this to at least have like double strike and infact or some shit.
Dude,
Can we
or
just talk
annihilation
about
3.
Finally have ourselves a Hydra commander.
We've had Hydra commanders before.
This one's way fucking better.
I don't know
Jeez
if it's better.
Louise.
Dude, excuse me?
Hey,
What
the back
is-
has a worm coil engine.
No. What's the name of the other one? Isn't it like blue, green, black?
That's its name.
I don't remember the name. It's got a weird name. Maybe it's Jund. It might be Jund.
Is it Palukranos?
Yeah, it might be Palukranos.
Is it Junkranos?
No, that's just going too
Hey,
far.
can
Eat
I
your ice
call
cream.
out too the thing I called out in the text? His tail makes a Phyrexian symbol before he turns Phyrexianized. That's awesome. I like the little attention to detail in the art. It's really cool.
All right, let's move on to the brand new card type that everybody's been talking about. These are new battles, and boy, did we get a lot of them. This first one is Invasion of Fiora. Invasion of Fiora is 4 and 2 black for a battle siege. It says, as a siege enters, choose an opponent to protect it. You and others can attack it. When it's defeated, exile it, then cast it transformed. It says, whenever Invasion of Fiora enters the battlefield, choose one or both. Destroy all legendary creatures, destroy all non-legendary creatures. It has a starting defender of 4. When it's defeated, it flips into Marchesa, Resolute Monarch. It is a 3/6 legendary creature human noble with menace and death touch. And whenever she attacks, remove all counters from up to 1 target permanent. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if you haven't been dealt combat damage since your last turn, you draw a card and you lose 1 life.
I love this card.
Is cool.
This card is crazy cool, dude. I'm way too excited about this whole set. This front half though is really cool.
Got a good back half too.
Dude, I like both halves of this card. I'm a big fan of
I'm more of
Monache.
a fan of the back half, but
That's fine.
I mean, it's good. I mean, they're both fun. I like anytime I have to choose between board wipe one way or the other, I'm not a big fan.
She can
It is
just
a pretty
straight
easy
up
one.
just start flipping every battle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's pretty
It's just
cool, dude.
So,
What?
real quick, to add on to Steven's point, he says like you have to choose like one or the other or something like that. You could technically choose both. And what you're probably going to do is you're going to drop whichever one is not going to affect you, swing in because all their things are dead, and then hit this and immediately transform it. This is the only one that I look at so far that's like is probably going to be able to flip the turn it drops.
Actually, David, now that you mentioned that, now that I've read the card, I know what the card does.
Dude,
And
I'm happy for
before,
you.
I just read choose one, and I was
He's
like,
gonna keep reading.
everything
Yeah.
else is not there.
Yeah, that makes sense, dude.
So, my bad.
I like the fact that we have so many board wipes already with the same mana cost that now we just get more stuff. You get more for the same price, dude.
That's called power creep.
Yeah, it's great to be alive. Great time to be alive.
You end up with 3 green manas for a 4/5 with other abilities.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this other battle. Keep in mind these are all sieges, so I'm not gonna read this
Yeah,
every time.
The whole set.
Invasion of Ikoria. It is X in 2 green that says when it enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. It has a defender of 6. And when it flips, it turns into Zilortha, Apex of Ikoria. It is an 8/8 legendary creature dinosaur with reach, and for each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. David, you love this card. Tell me.
I do love this card, but I love it just for shenanigans. The Invasion of Ikoria being a tutor that's going to be able to put something directly into play is just nuts. So I don't know. Zilortha is cool and all. The artwork is dope. I definitely feel like it shouldn't just be an 8/8 for having artwork like that. It's like
It should be
you've seen the
12/12.
fucking stratosphere.
It's huge, dude.
But no, the front half of the card is awesome. I mean, like you're gonna tutor for something and probably just gonna win the game off of whatever it is that you just put directly into play. You're gonna go find your combo piece.
Well, what about Hunter? What about this, dude? Are you putting this in your Dino deck?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Just one cool piece you get to put in, dude?
I mean, I'm already putting in the other Etali, but this is this would cost a lot because of my stuff.
I guess
already
that's fair.
costs a lot.
Yeah. You're right.
Steven, what do you think?
I think it's great. It's like another fucking finale of Devastation, but with a creature.
All right, let's move on to the next battle. This is Invasion of Ravnica. Invasion of Ravnica is 5 generic mana that says when it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls that isn't exactly 2 colors. It has a 4 defender. When it flips, it turns into Guildpact Paragon. It is a 5/5 artifact creature construct. It says whenever you cast a spell that's exactly 2 colors, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a card that's exactly 2 colors from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I don't like this one.
It seems interesting.
I'm gonna say something that I don't say often, and I'm just
You're
gonna
gonna say meh.
apologize to
You're
the
gonna say
viewers
meh.
at home,
Say it.
and I'm gonna agree with Hunter.
Whoa! Yeah, this seems like a, I hate to say it, bulk mythic.
This is where David blows your mind.
All right, Dave, blow my mind.
Okay. I feel like it's really weird that Ravnica gets the battle that's colorless, considering it's a set that cares so much about color identity, but I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't pick their favorite guild. So they just went with this. As far as like a colorless card goes, colorless isn't supposed to necessarily like be great or be able to do just about anything. So if you're playing a colorless deck, this is probably still good enough to like make the cut just for the invasion alone.
Because it's an exile effect.
Yeah, because it is removal. 5 mana for colorless removal is actually pretty solid.
Hmm.
Like that's a pretty good rate for that kind of an effect. And I mean, you get a body on top of it as well. So I don't know. It's weird, and I'm not the highest on this card, but considering that they are going to be coming out with a colorless commander pre-con, this is a card that's probably going to slot into that as far as like an upgrade goes.
Yeah, like you said too, the Ravnica's all colors. That the creature itself has like, are those all the colors of magic in his chest, dude?
It's all the guild symbols.
All the guild, yeah, it's
Yep.
yeah. But yet it's colorless, crazy, dude.
Crazy.
I mean, plus, like, if you actually are playing around with the back half of the card, assuming that you're not playing in a colorless deck, its ability is going to be drawing you cards.
Yeah, you'll get through your deck pretty quick.
This next one is Invasion of New Phyrexia. It is X, a white and a blue. It says when it enters the battlefield, create X 2/2 white and blue knight creature tokens with vigilance, and it has 6 defender counters on it. When it is defeated, it turns into Teferi, a Kosa of Zhalfir. It is a planeswalker with a starting loyalty of 4 that has a +1 that says draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card. A -2 that says you get an emblem with knights you control, get +1/+0, and have ward 1. And a -3 that says tap X creatures you control. When you do, shuffle target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value X or less into its owner's library.
Dude, the -2 is the emblem?
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
This card's nuts, dude. Like, what do we?
I know it is.
What do we? Like, do we have to talk about it a lot? I mean,
What do you
Of course we
think,
do. Yeah,
David?
tell me the thoughts.
I think it's just okay, to be honest. It's a token generator. They're always kind of expensive for these to have like the one-time effect. So I don't know, sink 5 mana into it, you get 3 2/2s, and hopefully you can destroy you can remove all the defense counters from this thing to get the Teferi Planeswalker from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm never super high on these kinds of cards in general, so maybe that's just my own bias.
This card's going to be busted in standard. There's already a
Yeah.
deck running around right now with Mind Splice apparatus that is just backbreaking when it comes to the White Sun's Twilight card. They're just making like 15 1/1 mites and they just kill you that way. It's nuts. This is just another one of those X costs that you could just immediately make however many counters you have on Mind Splice apparatus.
I like this card.
Yeah, it's good. It's gonna see play.
yeah, -2 emblem, nuts,
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't
really good.
honestly think I've ever seen a minus, like a not ultimate, be an emblem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just because it's so specific. Like, you have to be playing Night Travel for it to do anything.
That's true. You probably will be, though.
You will be when you make a bunch of them. Moving on to the Invasion of Tolvada. The Invasion of Tolvada is 3, a white, and a black. that says when it enters the battlefield, return target non-battle permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It has 5 defender counters on it. When it is defeated, it turns into the Broken Sky. It is an enchantment that says creature tokens you control get +1/+0 and have lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying.
I really like the fact that a lot of these battles have such versatile back ends. That sounds weird, I know, but we're getting creatures, we're getting enchantments, we're getting planeswalkers. Like, these are shaping up to be really cool. And this enchant, like, so that the flip side of this, you get an anthem effect. I like that a lot. And you get to, and it creates tokens. This is a good enchantment.
I agree. This is also another 5 mana ability where you can just go ahead and put a Titan of Industry onto the field.
The
For
recursion
standard,
back,
right.
the recursion back to the battlefield is super powerful here. This is the first instance we've had of Tolvada on a card, correct?
Yeah, I have no idea about that.
It's Kaya's homeworld.
Oh, I
Makes
did not know
sense.
that.
I see all the flavor with Kaya here.
Yeah, it's like it's in her colors. It deals with ghosts and stuff. She didn't defend this plane in the storyline, which I find kind of odd that they would have like the invasion of her homeworld and she just kind of like dipped out and wasn't there. She was on Theros,
She was doing something more important, maybe.
I guess. Good card though. I like it.
What do you think, Steven?
I mean, it's Orshoff's, baby. Like, I mean, you just, graveyard recursion and then fucking tokens with lifelinks, and it's really good. I mean, I love it just because anytime I play a white black commander deck, it does exactly what I want it to, and that's to fucking sack my shit and ruin somebody's day.
True that, man. Moving on to the final battle we're talking about today. This is Invasion of Tarkir. Invasion of Tarkir is 1 and a red that says when it enters the battlefield, reveal any number of dragon cards from your hand. When you do, Invasion of Tarkir deals X +2 damage to any other target, where X is the number of cards revealed this way. It has a 5 defender counter on it. When it is defeated, it turns into Defiant Thundermaw. Defiant Thundermaw is a 4/4 creature dragon with flying and trample, and whenever a dragon you control attacks, it deals 2 damage to any target.
This card is insane.
This would be really good in my dragon deck, dude. Yeah. This card's nuts.
Like, even if you don't reveal anything, it still deals 2 damage.
Steven,
That's
is this
true.
going in the dragon?
It's yes.
Yeah.
I do love the fact that this card has its own little safety valve.
Which
In
is
ETBs, you reveal dragon cards from your hand, and then you do damage to any other target. So you can't just hit this to transform it immediately.
oh, that'd be sick, dude. That'd be dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, it would lower it from 5 to 3, which still means you're putting in some kind of work.
Yo, but this is pretty sick though. 2 mana and the
Yeah, but
booty
I
on this
mean-
is 5.
You're paying 2 mana, David. I'm assuming you have more than fucking. I would hope you kept a hand that's decently enough,
You are correct. I was also assuming like you're doing this for the absolute lowest amount.
Yes.
How many dragons are going to be in this set then?
I don't know
Hopefully
if this
enough.
is going into my discard dragon deck.
Discard dragon deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a discard dragon deck in which he runs exactly 1 dragon.
No, I have. Oh, I'm thinking of my other drag. I have the other dragon deck.
I don't know.
That
I
one
just
that
thought it was
Steven
pretty
has.
amazing how like similar this was to the AI cards.
Dude, I really hope we get a fucking flip Culligan, a Phyrexian Culligan.
That'd be cool.
Moving on to Rankle and Torbran. Rankle and Torbran is a new team up. It is 1, 2 black, 2 red for a 3/4 legendary creature, Fairy Dwarf. It has flying, first strike, and haste. It says whenever Rankle and Torbran deals combat damage to a player or battle, choose any number. Each player creates a treasure token, or each player sacrifices a creature, or if a source would deal damage to a player or battle this turn, it deals that much damage +2 instead.
This is like a perfect marriage of these 2 cards.
I think you should say or and.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you can choose any number of them. So you can choose to only do one mode. You can choose to do all 3 modes, vice versa, however you'd like to split it.
Uh-huh. Dave, this is right up your alley.
I think this card sucks.
I don't.
I'm really
It's-
sad.
I'm sorry, Hunter. I don't like this card at all.
I was like, wow, this is Dave's like favorite Rakdos card ever created. I'm just kidding.
So it's not only incredibly difficult to cast, but like 2 of the modes on there I'm not super high on. So like everybody gets a treasure token. I don't really want to be giving my opponents treasure tokens, even in the case that it would benefit me. So I don't think I would ever use that. Each player sacrifices a creature. Okay, well, I guess if I have some cannon fodder, that's fine. And then the last one, he cares about other things dealing that damage. Since this card has to deal damage first and the first strike on it, like it's only ever going to do 3. I just don't think 5 mana is good enough for a card like this. Like it's got cool abilities on it, but being only a 3/4, I'm not actually super sold on it. I don't think you're going to be able to swing very many times before this thing either dies or just gets outclassed.
I think 5 mana would have been cool if it was just 1 red, 1 black, and then 3.
Yeah, the double pips really hurt this card.
I still think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
because
cool.
Rankle and Torbran were both double or triple, weren't they?
I mean, they're both double,
Torbran
but
was-
still, like
Torbran was 3.
Torbran's
Man,
3.
so was-
three,
so was
3 red and
Rankle.
1.
Hmm.
Rankle
Yeah,
was 2
Rankle.
black and a 1, I believe.
I mean, even if you were to just remove it by like just make it like 1 a black and 2 red, I would like this a little bit more. But just like with those extra pips, like this is going to be really hard to cast.
Moving on.
Cool.
Sorry, last note. Shitty artwork. Moving on. Go ahead.
Ooh, thank you. It reminds me of fucking Shrek.
What?
Like the CGI and the, like their pose, it's very like gingerbread man storming the castle, fucking Shrek mode.
Like when I see this card, all I think about is like Wizards panicking because they needed one last card, and they were like, "What do we do?" And they're like, "Oh, fuck, just grab Torbran and Rankle."
I mean, they did have a whole story about them.
Yeah, they
Cool.
do this
Don't
like a year in advance.
fucking
I think they
like,
didn't have
ruin the goddamn art.
Next team up is Zurgo and Ojutai. Zurgo and Ojutai is 2, a blue, a red, and a white for a 4/4 legendary creature, Orc Dragon. It's got flying and haste. It says it has hexproof as long as it enters the battlefield this turn, and whenever 1 or more dragons you control deal combat damage to a player or battle, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may return 1 of those dragons to its owner's hand. Steven, is this going in Ur Dragon?
No,
Cool.
this card's stupid.
I actually really like this card.
I mean, cool, man. This card's stupid.
Why?
This is a 4/4 beater that's gonna brainstorm for you.
It's
Like,
I
pretty
don't want
sweet.
to pay 5 mana to brainstorm.
It's a body.
It's a brainstorm engine with a body, with a nice body.
Look at that body, huh?
If you flicker this, does that count as re-entering?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Still shitty. I just asked. I just wanted to ask the question.
Next up is Borborygmos and Fblthp. It is 2, a green, a blue, and a red for a 6/5 legendary creature, Cyclops Humongulus. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. Then you may discard any number of land cards. When you discard 1 or more cards this way, it deals twice that much damage to target creature. You can also pay 1 and a blue to put Borborygmos and Fblthp into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. David, what do you think?
All right. So if you look at the card real quick, I
you
love
read the
so
card?
much.
Oh.
No. I love so much that like all these partner pairings, all these mashups are like you get to see 2 of these creatures that have like hated each other in the past and they're now working together. And this one is still just fucking Borborygmos, and Fblthp is just like chilling on top of him, just like, yeah, dude, keep going, you got it. He's not doing shit.
He's fist pumping, dude.
It's just fucking he's riding him with a smile on his face and just like he's here for it.
Now the card.
I don't know. It's fine. It's gonna act as like a card draw engine for you at the very like minimum, and then I don't know how I feel about its other ability where you can tuck it back into your library. I think that's kind of weird. I don't know if I actually want to do that.
It's like permanent
Ever.
evasion, right?
Yeah, but like you're tucking it, so it's gonna be gone for your next 3 draws.
That's on
Oh,
theme
third,
with
that's true.
Fblthp, right?
Yeah, it is
He
on
likes,
theme.
to he likes to hide.
I mean, he's
not
not.
with Borborygmos, dude.
He's just totally lost, dude. That's how he got there to begin with, man. He's out there just like looking for lunch, and he strolls across his fucking Cyclops in the middle of a multiplanar invasion.
Steven, what do you think of this card?
Yeah, so Hunter, this card is it's kind of meh. I mean, it's cool, like discard your lands and replay them from the graveyard and deal damage. Oh, target me. I'm gonna hide, but I can't hide well. So I'll be third from the top because technically I'm really tiny, but I'm really big too.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm not
I
sure.
also don't think it's great. Next up is Baral and Kari Zev. Baral and Kari Zev is 1, a blue and a red for a 2/4 legendary creature human. It's got first strike and menace. It also says whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, you may cast a spell with lesser mana value that shares a card type with it from your hand without paying its mana cost. If you don't, create First Mate Ragavan, a legendary 2/1 red monkey pirate creature token. It gains haste until end of turn. What do we think about this, Dave?
I think this card is insanely powerful. I love being able to cast things for free, and this is really good at doing it.
Free things are good things, dude. There's a monkey in the background.
It's Ragavan.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a Ragavan reprint.
I love this card, man. I mean, it's got everything I want. It's got a low mana cost. It's got decent power, good booty. I like it. First strike and Menace, gotta love that. Gets to do cool stuff with spells, and it makes me a monkey.
I have nothing else to add to that.
Let's move on. Next up, we have a brand new Glissa. This is Glissa Herald of Predation. Glissa Herald of Predation is 3, a black and a green for a 3/5 legendary creature, Phyrexian zombie elf. It says at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one. You can incubate 2 twice. You can transform all incubator tokens you control. And Phyrexians you control gain first strike and death touch until end of turn.
David,
Yep,
they took away your thumb.
they did, dude. See, and she's actually worse because of it. She's super slow, dude. She makes the tokens, then she transforms the tokens, and she gives the tokens ability so that they can get in.
Yeah, the other Glissa, mucho better.
I mean, yes and
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
I think that they're both equally. All right, the other Gliss is like 60%. This one's 40%. Like, I do like the fact that with this one you don't have to deal the combat damage, whereas the other one you did. Now, granted, you did have first strike and death touch on the other one, so nobody wanted to block that. But at least with this one, I mean, you get to choose at the beginning of combat, so you can incubate pretty much immediately.
Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I will say that is a bummer that it lost its abilities. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, its third mode literally gives it back.
Yes.
That's true, Dave. Good point.
But she doesn't have
Hell
that
yeah,
thumb
dude.
still, David.
She still doesn't have the thumb.
I mean, but to be fair, I mean, like the third mode does give it back, but then you lose out on the other modes. Whereas the other Glissa, you could destroy target enchantment or draw a card, start filtering through the deck a little bit.
To be fair, this costs 5. And the other one costs 3.
Yeah, the other one costs 3. Yeah, 3. I mean, listen, man, this one costs 5. The other one costs 3. The other one's a 3/3. This one's a 3/5.
I'm going to move on.
Moving on to the final sword. Finally, it's here. This is Sword of Once and Future. Sword of Once and Future is 3 generic mana for an artifact equipment. It says equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from blue and from black. It also says whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, surveil 2. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Equip cost of 2.
Is the only thing I can complain about this card is I don't like the name. Everything else is amazing.
Ooh, I'm with Shane. Once and Future just sounds weird. Why
It
was it
sounds
like
so weird.
Past and Future or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
First of all, the name is sick. Okay.
Sure, Steven. It's thick.
It's my next
Also,
band name, okay? Once and Future, dude.
also a lot of rumors are saying that this probably won't be the last sword.
What?
This is the last one of the cycle.
Yeah.
It would fit within the cycle, assuming that they don't come out with a monocolor or tricolor or all 5 color or something like that. It's the last of the cycle.
Exactly.
It's the last of the cycle, dude.
We don't know that.
Forget your rumors, dude. But this card is nuts. David, you said you like playing cards for free. This
Yeah.
card doesn't.
This is probably my favorite of the newer 5.
I could agree.
It's a pretty good one. Next up, Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree. Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree is 3 generic mana for a legendary artifact. Has the ability we could pay 2, tap it, target opponent mills 3 cards, put a land card from their graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. It gains if this land would leave the battlefield, exile it, instead of putting it anywhere else. Also has another ability we can pay 10, tap it, sacrifice Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree, search your library for any number of Praetor cards, put them on the battlefield, then shuffle.
All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna be Shane.
Okay.
Well, that first one's pretty. Steven, you like that mill, right? Yeah. Oh my God, 10 mana! Holy shit!
I love how
So
I keep my voice
expensive.
out, dude. Jesus.
You sound like a South Park character.
Yo, is this Wrenn and 6 or 7 merging with that tree?
No.
I thought I saw a spoiler about that. That's on this card?
I mean, she does merge with the tree. This is the tree.
Oh.
This card's fucking amazing.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I don't think it's amazing, but I definitely think it's actually really good. I think this is probably going to be like a go-to mana fixer if you're playing in like a monocolor deck that's not green.
Yo, you're playing
Card's
EDH and
amazing.
you got a lot of mana, Steven. You just go get all your Praetors.
I agree.
Yeah. It's like the world tree, but for Praetors.
But it's Phyrexianized.
I already know I'm going to run into some jank deck in Standard that's going to be running this, and I'm going to ignore it, and they're going to cast it, they're going to spend 10 mana, and then they're just going to have all 5 Praetors, and I'm going to be sad.
Dude, if you don't win by the time they get to 10 mana,
Yeah. If you let
Hey.
them have all 5 Praetors, you're dumb.
Hunter, I have really bad news for you.
What's that?
There's 5 Praetors from this set, plus the fact that we also have, 2 Elesh Norns? Or wait, no, we have 1 more Elesh Norn. Are any of the other Praetors in Standard at this point? Kamigawa's still in Standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
New Capenna?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's 8 Praetors.
Mm-hmm.
Good game.
Next up, we've got Quintorius Loremaster. Quintorius Loremaster is 3, a red and a white, for a 3/5 legendary creature, Elephant Cleric. As Vigilant, at the beginning of your end step, exile target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard. Create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. 1, a red and a white, tap it, sacrifice a spirit, choose target card, exiled with Quintorius. You may cast that card this turn without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, put it onto the bottom of its owner's library instead. This is before he got his spark, huh, Dave?
This is before he got a spark, yep. I was actually really, I was hoping to see a Planeswalker version of him in this set, but I guess we're not getting it.
Apparently, we're getting it in Ixalan.
Ooh. This seems kind of slow.
Very.
I like the flavor, but it seems a little slow.
It is kind of slow.
He's a 5-drop, requires an additional 3 mana for the ability to do anything and set up. That's too much.
I mean, I guess
the setup happens the time he drops.
I guess you can create a 2 or a 3/2 after you play him as well. So that's kind of cool.
So, are we done talking about this garbage card?
Jeez.
Whoa! I guess.
Cool.
Going on to
All right, moving on.
Going on to Transcendent Message. Transcendent Message is X and 4 blue. For an instant, it's got Convoke, draw X cards.
I think the flavor of this card is fantastic.
Wrenn reached out to Teferi through the blind eternities, and an impossible connection flared across the vast emptiness.
And Teferi was back in the picture, baby.
It's true, he was.
In the story, counterbalance vibes.
Wrenn kind of saves him.
Giving you counterbalance vibes? How is this?
The art.
The artwork?
The art.
Yeah.
All right, I can see the artwork. I was about to say nothing about this card reminds me of counterbalance.
Yeah,
And nothing about this card counters anything.
The text right there behind draw card. Draw. Okay.
All right, you're
It's
struggling.
a lot of blue. Dude, this is a lot of blue mana to draw some cards, man.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be in mono blue playing this card, obviously.
It's got Convoke.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay 4 blue for this.
It's true.
You do
No,
have to
'cause
pay
you
4
do.
blue. It only helps with the generic.
No, it
has
doesn't.
No,
If you
it
tap a
doesn't.
blue creature, it pays for the blue.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the infuriating card that your control player is going to play whenever they have passed go and you think they're not doing anything.
Why do I
And then
not
whenever
read
they
the
don't
card?
counter your shit, they tap for fucking 8 and draw a
What
bunch of
Convoke
cards.
does.
Or 1 mana of that creature's color.
Steven, because reading is fucking hard.
I mean, just for that reason alone, dude,
Yeah, it is.
this card still sucks.
Yeah, on principle.
On principle, dude. I don't think anyone's playing this card, dude. I think there's a lot. Sorry. I think there are way more cards that do draw cards like this way better. Moving on.
Possibly. We'll
Nope.
see.
The fact that this is an instant that you can play on your opponent's turn, like, I think this 100% sees play. I think this makes a control deck. I think this is the card that they're going to cast whenever you think they're not doing anything, and it's going to piss you off that they had all that unspent mana.
Spoiler alert, David, they're
I
already.
think people are going to play
control
Silver
deck.
Scrutiny over this every day of the week.
I don't even know what card that is.
Moving, it's a draw spell. It's in standard right now.
Oh.
Moving on to another card with a brand new mechanic. This is Boon-Bringer Valkyrie. Boon-Bringer Valkyrie is 3 and 2 white for a 4/4 creature, Angel Warrior. It has backup 1. What does that mean? Well, it says when this creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. If that's another creature, it gains the following abilities until end of turn, which are Flying, First Strike, and Lifelink.
I need to
Or make
not get excited about these kind of things, dude.
You don't like backup, Dave?
I didn't say
like
that.
it. I said I like it, but then David or somebody always shits on it.
Oh.
Don't you, David? When I go, oh, this is a sick ability, and then you go, meh.
Dude, y'all are such fucking pessimists, man. I don't know if I've ever said meh. I mean, this card is meh.
Don't take my fucking...
I think backup's going to be a very strong mechanic.
I agree. It's a pretty cool mechanic. This is a 5/4 with Flying First Strike, a Lifelink, though. Seems good.
The
Yeah,
only
he's a
reason why I don't like this card or backup in general is it really, at least in this aspect, right, with this specific card, it really just kind of like makes you need to have a creature that's on the field that can attack.
It is
So,
a
like-
good thing that this costs 5 mana. You're probably going to have something else in play.
I'm just saying, like, you draw this late game. You know what I mean? And like,
Mirror-
you know, I'm just saying, like, you don't want to play multiple things and then this. Like, you're gonna have this in your hand. You're gonna play some stuff, and then you're gonna wait till next turn. I don't know. I think that there are gonna be other backup cards that are better. Like, you know, Shocker, the next one we're gonna talk about.
Oh.
I still think, then the mechanic is good. You said you didn't like the mechanic, Steven.
That's not what I said. I said I think the mechanic is cool. I just don't think that it's good with this specific card, where it only gives
We're gonna roll
flying,
the
first
tape back,
strike, and
don't worry, dude.
lifelink. That's fine.
I think this card is actually probably more of like a limited all-star. This is going to be like
100%.
your sealed or draft bomb because those abilities it's going to give on another creature are also going to be super punishing too. I think backup in general is probably going to play a little bit better in limited and sealed in draft than what it might in standard, but I'm not low on the mechanic. I actually think that's totally fine.
I think it's cool that it's a counter. It's permanent. Permanent counter.
Yes, it's a permanent +1/+1.
That's what I'm saying. It's awesome.
I mean, I guess, sure.
Moving on to Steven's spoiler alert, we are talking about another card with backup. Next up is Archpriest of Shadows. Archpriest of Shadows is 3 and 2 black for a 4/4 creature, human warlock. It has backup 1. It's got Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's good.
Awesome, dude.
Because you give all those ability to another creature.
Yeah. I think it's good to clarify that pretty much anything below the backup the other card gets.
It's only the things below the backup.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like every single thing printed on the card below the backup. That's sick.
Yes.
Steven,
card
you
is
love this
crazy.
card. Talk about, yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, what do we need to talk about, dude? Like, I told you this card was great.
I'm ready to move on to good card is good.
Good card is
Wow.
good.
We don't
mean, it's
showcase good cards, dude.
another 5-mana recursion card, essentially. See it all the time.
Yeah, I can do it
But
twice.
this has multiple options just to keep recurring. So
Yes.
count me in. With Death Touch, people don't want to block. Next up, Guardian of Girapir. Guardian of Girapir is 2 and a white for a 3/3 creature angel. It's got flying. It says when it enters the battlefield, exile up to one other target creature or artifact you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Little blinker. What do we think? Steven, you like blinking stuff.
Little blinker. Yeah, it's good, man. It's a 3-mana 3/3 with flying. And it blinks my shit. So I can get some more shit. I really can't complain about it. I mean, it's fantastic. Plus, it's an angel, and I know a lot of, angel themed things like to happen, especially with the first card we talked about.
With ETBs?
I was just saying, like, Archangel of Elspeth, you get to put 2+1/+1 counters on a target creature, it becomes an angel. Obviously, this one's already an angel, and it already has flying, but,
Dave, you got anything to add?
No, I mean, it's a cool little blinking effect, and I like being able to take advantage of ETBs, just like what everybody else here has mentioned.
Absolutely. Let's move on to a reprint. This is Monastery Mentor. Monastery Mentor is 2 and a white for a 2/2 creature human monk. It's got prowess. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess.
Good
That's a cool
card is great, dude.
That is a crazy card to be put in standard.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this restricted in something, David?
It is restricted in vintage for the two of you that play that format.
Hey, I don't play that.
He's talking
I
about
think
the
that's
audience.
what he meant.
Oh. This card's crazy. I'd love to see it in standard.
We got the Phyrexian symbol behind him.
I noticed that too.
I heard the guy bring that up. I think that's all hoopla.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Bruh, it's just a coincidence. These guys aren't Phyrexian helpers.
Yeah, they're Merit Lodge.
Okay.
Nothing
This card's
about
great. Prowess is amazing. When you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token. It doesn't say once per turn. It doesn't say anything bad.
Right, it's a reprint. Let's move on. This is Grafted Butcher. Grafted Butcher is 1 and a black for a 2/2 creature, Phyrexian Samurai. It says when Grafted Butcher enters the battlefield, Phyrexians you control gain menace until end of turn, and other Phyrexians you control get +1/+1. Has another ability we can pay 3 and a black, sacrifice an artifact or creature, return Grafted Butcher from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. Shane, what is this?
It's a Lord.
It is!
There's so much going on in this card, dude.
It's really good, though.
It's really good. It's a Bear Lord.
Bear Lord.
Drop this, play multiples of them.
Dude, this card's really good.
Mm-hmm.
This card's great.
Yeah.
I love Shredder, dude.
Oh, it's Shredder, dude?
It
actually does. It does look like Shredder.
This dude obviously didn't survive the invasion of Kamigawa.
I think he might have been completed.
What do you mean he didn't survive?
He's definitely alive.
David, he has no thumbs.
No, he does have thumbs.
I can't point them out.
He looks like, look at the card. He looks like he has extra thumbs.
Looks like he has a billion pointers.
He's a cool samurai.
It's a very cool samurai.
This is going to be really good in Brimaz.
All right. I'll have to keep that in mind, Steven. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the next one. This is Voldaren Thrillseeker. Voldaren Thrillseeker is 2 and a red for a 1/1 creature vampire warrior. It has a backup of 2, which means you can put 2 counters on it. And the ability that it has that it also can give someone is pay 1 mana, sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to its power to any target.
All right, Hunter, as our resident mythic mono red player, how do you feel about this?
Mythic mono red player. This is not a good card.
All right, Hunter. Follow-up question. How do you feel being wrong?
I want to hear David.
So you play this. All right. First off, let me go ahead and preface. You play Yargle, then you play this, and you kill Yargle using its ability and fling it at your opponent to deal 20 damage.
Hunter, I'll repeat myself. How does it feel to be wrong?
That's such a niche.
That's pretty cool, Dave. That sounds like an actual thing in standard.
Because, I mean, Yargle on its own is a powerhouse. Now you have an ability to make Yargle sacrifice itself to just nuke somebody for 20.
Like I said, this card's great.
And it's meh.
Don't take
My
thing.
heart? Oh, okay.
Don't go taking my heart.
I think this card is kind of fine. The fact that it can deal damage to any target means it's pretty flexible.
It can kill those battles.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Do some damage in some battles, man. But this being a 1/1 by itself, is that good?
It's
I
great.
don't know.
It could always be a 3/3 by itself that you then, I don't know, deal 3 damage to something.
I mean, yeah.
Or
But you wouldn't be able to fling Yargle.
That's true.
Moving on to Chrome Host Seed Shark. Chrome Host Seed Shark is 2 and a blue for a 2/4 creature Phyrexian Shark. It's got flying and says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value.
Shark Typhoon didn't survive the invasion, dude.
Card's great.
It's a pretty
There's-
interesting card.
There's a hurricane coming out of the portal, too.
Right, that's what I said, dude.
Shark Typhoon.
Why is it that sharks in Magic the Gathering have flying?
Because
There's
it's
always-
magic.
There's always tornadoes behind him, Dave.
They're magic sharks, David.
All right.
Everyone
You're right, I'm
knows
wrong.
that the biggest backers of Sharknado was Wizards of the Coast.
That movie's canon, by the way.
True.
This okay, but back to Steven's point. This does seem like a pretty good card.
This card's great, dude.
I mean, yeah, but you're eventually going to have to pay the mana to flip all those.
Unless you
Oh
have a thing
man,
that
it
says
must
flip 'em
suck
all.
to pay 2 mana to fucking flip a 4/4.
Or you play something that says flip all incubators. Those are real cards too.
That
Dude.
is true. We've seen it.
I can't wait to play this in a control shell that also uses like Transcendent Message.
I mean, Hunter, you did say that Mind Splice Apparatus was a card.
That is 100% true. Draw a bunch of cards, Steven. Make a giant Phyrexian. Moving on to Hoarding Broodlord. Hoarding Broodlord is 5 and 3 black for a 7/6 creature dragon. It has Convoke. It's got flying. It says whenever Hoarding Broodlord enters the battlefield, search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. For as long as that card remains exiled, you may play it. Spells you cast from exile have Convoke.
Bad card
Rage.
bad? Move on? Question mark?
I don't think it's bad at all, actually.
RuneScar Demon sees play pretty regularly in EDH, and this is probably better.
Yeah, this is a good card.
Bad card bad.
We get it. You
Move
don't
on.
like Convoke, Steven. And it's a dragon. I like it. Sign me up. Let's go.
Like, this in and of itself has Convoke.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, it specifically says Convoke on the card.
Yeah, which tells me, like, this isn't 7 mana. This is my 4-drop.
That'd be sick.
That's a
I like this
7/6 with flying just tutored.
Yeah, that was a good.
Yeah,
I think it was a good card.
My 4-drop 7/6 flyer. Nice. Yeah, it seems good, man. I like this card a lot.
I mean, I like taking out the garbage too.
Okay.
My garbage gets picked up on Fridays.
Somebody hurt this man.
These next 5 rares that we're going to talk about are exclusively only found in Jumpstart packs.
Ugh.
March of the Machine. That's right. You cannot find these anywhere else but those packs. Isn't that cool?
No.
Moving to the first one is Essence of Orthodoxy. It is 3 and 2 white for a 3/3 creature Phyrexian. It's got flying. It says when it or another Phyrexian enters the battlefield under your control, incubate 2.
Hmm.
Kind of meh, wouldn't you say, Steven?
Extremely. 5 mana
Okay.
for a flying 3/3. It makes you a 2/2 that you have to pay 2 more to then get that card.
Oh, now you care about paying the 2. Got it.
Yeah.
You didn't with that shark.
That shark was sick.
Okay.
This is an incubation engine. I actually
Yeah,
like
dude.
this card
If
quite
you're
a
playing,
bit.
if you're playing Phyrexian cards, dude, this could go off.
I mean,
Yep.
you're right, dude. This is an engine, and I'll put it in a car and I'll drive it off a cliff and jump out before fucking.
Just have a Maxwood Nexus, dude. Every creature.
All your creatures are fucked. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna put this in the trash can with the fucking hoarding broodlord.
We'll move on to the blue one. This is Interdisciplinary Mascot. Interdisciplinary Mascot is 6 and 2 of blue for a 5/5 creature elemental fractal. It has Convoke. It has Ward 3. It says when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Convoke once again.
Oh my god, dude, this card's so sick. It's like my turn 3 5/5. Oh god.
I think he's making fun of you now,
Are,
Dave.
are you salty?
I'm
dude?
I'm not high on this card. I don't know why Steven's that excited.
Hunter, it's got Ward 3. What do you think about that?
That's awesome.
You love your Ward, Hunter?
I do, man. Ward's great. Ward's been a good staple that they've kept in Magic.
But we can say it. This card does feel a bit meh.
This is a jumpstart rare. It feels like it should be a jumpstart rare.
It does.
And it is.
I don't know if I'm gonna have enough room in my trash can.
Moving on to Terror of Tawashi. Terror of Tawashi is 2 and 2 black for a 4/3 creature Phyrexian Ogre. It's got Death Touch. It says when it attacks, you may pay 3 and a black. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. That one's pretty good.
I mean, recursion for only 4 mana is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to attack
It's
with this, though.
It's on attack.
It's a 4/3 with Death Touch that, yeah, you don't actually have to connect.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying if someone had a removal for it, they're just not going to let you attack. But I know.
If somebody,
I feel like
yeah,
that's the thing every time somebody goes to attack. Yeah.
Well, no. I'm just saying. Sometimes you'll just take the 4, but this one you're not letting it attack for sure.
I like this.
All I gotta say is I'm glad I don't have to add this to the trash can. This is good.
How about a legendary creature? This is the red one. This is Orthian, Hero of Lava Brink. Orthian, Hero of Lava Brink is 3 and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature human soldier. Has an ability to pay 1 and a red, tap it, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. Has another ability where you can pay 6 and 3 red, tap it, create 5 tokens that are copies of another target creature you control. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery.
Yeah, I'm going to be Steven being me. That's a lot of mana down there, dude.
I didn't know your voice could get that loaded.
paying 2 mana and tapping this is still a ton of value. Being able to copy like your best threat and be able to throw an additional one at your opponent.
That's very
The
true.
9 mana, obviously, yes, that thing costs everything. But you do it one time, and you probably won the game.
Yeah, make
So
it
it's a
5
win
tokens
more,
or so.
or yeah.
No, that is the
Oh, if you
finishing
win.
condition. Like that is
Got
how
it.
you win this game. Is
Got
it's
it.
stapled onto the commander.
Got
Yeah,
it.
you're taking someone out of the game.
Taking you out, Hunter.
It's like, all right, so my 5/5, I now have 5 more of them.
I mean,
25.
for example, when we played Magic on Monday night and I was using a red copy deck, and I made a copy of the Ancient Copper Dragon, this is 5 copies of that Ancient Copper Dragon.
That's a bit
True.
overkill, David.
It's true. That's a lot of treasures.
Or it could be 5 treasures.
David hit 31 treasures.
I did.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm putting this one in the recycling bin because it's not trash worthy. It's probably going to come back eventually.
Like the analogy.
And the final one is the green one. This is Zurgo and Ojutai. Zurgo and Ojutai is 4 and 2 green for a 6/5 legendary creature human bear. It's got trample. It says other creatures you control have trample. And whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. Steven, what do you think of this card?
Meh. I don't. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not great.
I think this card is missing one type, and then it'd be perfect. Put a little pig after bear. I'd be stoked.
Actually, man, bear pig. No, this card's actually really good. 6 mana for a 6/5, mediocre. Trample, which is really good, but other creatures you control have trample. Excellent. It has my favorite thing that green kind of lacks: haste. I love that. Fucking love that.
This is a green card to its core. It's like you just want to play big smashy things, and now your big smashy things get rewarded with trample and haste.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Seems fun.
I never said amazing.
Yeah, I know. I did.
The trash man said it.
Trash man said it. I like it. It's cool. It's another cool team up, I guess. Moving on to the final thing we're talking about today, and that is just the face commanders from all 5 precon decks. Up on the screen right now, all 5 of them. We'll just go over them real quick. We don't have to talk about all of them because we are doing our upgrades on them as soon as they announce the deck lists. Brightpalm and Brimaz, I'm doing those upgrades.
David does Kimball. He's not excited.
Shane does Broken Heart.
Broken Halo?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Why are you guys sad? We are doing this because we love Magic the Gathering.
You're right. I love Magic the Gathering so much. I'm doing Sidar.
So real quick, we'll go over them. Just what they do. Brightpalm is 1 and Naya for a 4/3. It's got backup 1 and says whenever this creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature. That creature can't be blocked by creature's power 2 or less this turn. Brimaz is 2 and Orzhov for a 3/4 that says whenever you cast a Phyrexian creature or artifact creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. And at the beginning of each end step, if Phyrexian died under your control this turn, proliferate. Gimbal is 2 and Teamer for a 4/4 that says artifact creatures you control have trample. And at the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 red gremlin artifact creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of differently named artifact tokens you control. Castla is 3 and Jeskai for a 5/4 that's got Convoke, Flying, Vigilance, and Haste. And it says whenever you cast another spell that has Convoke, scry 2, then draw a card. And finally is Sidar Jabari. It is 1 and Esper for a 4/3. It's got Eminence that says whenever you attack with 1 or more knights, if Sidar is in the command zone or on the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. It's also got Flying and First Strike, and it also says when it deals combat damage to a player, return target knight creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So we will be doing these deck decks as soon as they announce the deck lists as a whole, and they will be coming to you as soon as possible. But that is going to do it for Spoiler Day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. You'll find links to our Twitter, our Instagram, and our TikTok in the description down below. And until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Goodbye. Later.
Bye.